Okay, welcome back everybody, and delighted to have Karen Burke here with us from Microsoft Education Ireland. Karen is the Customer Service Management in Microsoft Education, and she's going to be with us for a couple of sessions today. And Karen is going to talk to us about creating an accessible environment for our students. So thanks, Karen.
Thank you. So thanks everyone for joining us today. My own background is second level teaching. So a lot of these tools I've been fortunate enough to use in my own classroom, and hopefully you'll take away something that you might be able to use. You can always reach out to me, by the way, if you ever want any advice. If you identify a specific area that you think you'd like more support with, feel free to. There's a huge amount here that we're hoping to cover, but very much I am going to tell you some things that are possible and show you where you can find them. But this is not extensive. I think we're all here because we're all very passionate about education and empowering our learners, but it's all our learners. So to do that, we have to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment which recognises the diverse nature of our students. And I think we would all recognise that students would rather sit quietly often than say they need that little bit of help, they need that little bit of support. So I think the key things for all of these tools is these are all built in, they're all free, they're using these technologies anyway when they're doing their work. So let's show them where they can use them, and then they will be able to do absolutely everything and be able to build on their key skills, their knowledge to give them the success that they will have when they complete their studies. So the inclusive classroom or the inclusive workplace or whatever mainly covers reading, writing, maths and communication. So what I'm going to try and do in my time is show you tools that are present in a whole host of these apps which will support your students with this. So this is a terrible slide, and this is one that I'd never show a student, but just to show these are all the learning tools that are available in all the apps that they're already using, supporting everything from read aloud to being able to use coloured filters to support students as well. So there's so many, I suppose, amazing things that are there, and again, all free and all ready in the technologies that the students are using. And I suppose first and foremost, we're going to touch on maybe the top couple of ones, which is how to read more effectively and supports for reading effectively. And my big thing about this is a tool for absolutely everyone, because it supports students as they're reading, but every student, everybody is encountering new vocabulary day by day. So this has been proven to support the reading of absolutely everyone. It's not something that I would say is something that I would specifically point out to a certain number of students. This is for everyone. And a great tip is it's great for getting students to proofread. So very hard to find our own mistakes, but there's a tool called the Immersive Reader which will read the entire Word document or whatever back to the students, and great for letting them hear their errors. This is a very short 90-second video just explaining what it is.
Hi, I'm Mike. Today I'm going to demonstrate how you can improve reading skills with Microsoft Learning Tools. To get started, go to office.com and sign in your Office 365 education account. Click on Word to open a Word document. And now go to the View tab and click on the Immersive Reader. You'll see all of the page is reducing distractions, and I can really focus on the text. When you press the play button,
the Amazon rainforest,
you hear the text read aloud, and you see the words highlighted, and you can easily follow along. You can increase and decrease voice speed really easily. You can increase the font size. You can also increase the spacing, which is a proven technique to help reduce visual crowding. You also can click on a page color that gives better contrast and can make it easier to see the letters. Now you can turn the syllables on as well and break them down with a single click. I can highlight the different parts of speech like nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Now reading rulers are something that teachers have used for a long time for focus, and with a single click here I can turn on line focus and really give that extra focus for students. With the picture dictionary, I can click on a single word and see a picture of that, and also play it back to have that multi-sensory processing, a great tool for reading comprehension. So learning tools are available in OneNote, Outlook, Office Lens, and Edge as part of Office 365 in Education, which is free for you teachers and students. Go check it out.
And I suppose actually updates since this is it's also in PowerPoint in the online version, but the other apps that students might be using, such as Forms, Flipgrid, also have this built in. So it's getting students to recognise the icon, which is a little book with a speaker. It's also present in Teams for reading out assignments or posts. It's present everywhere. I would say it's using that opportunity at the start of the year to show this to them and demonstrate it, and maybe setting a little reminder, go, you know, I can read an entire text, but even that new difficult word, let's just take that second, let's hit view, let's select the word, it will read that one word aloud as well. So it's showing students what's there to support them, but it's to support absolutely everyone. And I always think, I was trying to learn the different names for different types of colour blindness, making a really bad effort on my own stab of it, so I popped them into Immersive Reader, hit play, and I learned this protanopia, because I think I was making a very bad attempt at it, but it's really just showcasing what's possible. And because a lot of this, students be accessing it on a whole range of devices, it's reminding them that if they have earphones, if they have AirPods, you know, plug it in and use it. It's not going to be something that causes distraction if they're using it in the library or something, because they can access it on a range of devices as well. This is just if you want to learn a little bit more about it. There is a specific webpage for it called aka.ms/all about the immersive reader. And again, as I said, this is a great support for learning to read new vocabulary, learning to read text. If you have dyslexic students, the colour filters can be great as well to support them, because they might find it difficult to read the black text on the white background. And it does also support translation features, but I'm going to touch on them a little bit later as well. So again, I said this is a great support for reading, but we also have students who need support with the mechanics of writing, that they would be entitled to scribes and exams. They get that kind of support. And maybe I didn't touch on that with the immersive reader, but even someone getting a reader in exam, it's letting them practice these skills. So within Office 365, on the Home tab, in Word, OneNote, PowerPoint, even in Outlook, we have a dictation option. And again, it's promoting the use of this to our students, because we all have students who will struggle with the mechanics of writing. They may be entitled to word processors, or they might be entitled to a scribing exam, and they need to prepare for that. And dictation can be a really easy option. And you can have someone, and maybe this is maybe it's a bit more extreme, but it's showing the difference that providing something that dictates someone the dictation feature, the difference it can make. And this is, again, someone who would be struggling with mechanics of writing. It's not that they can't form the ideas, form the concepts. What they're struggling with is just putting it down on paper so someone can correct and assess it. But it's there, and it is enabled that you can punctuate it. It is available in different languages as well, so you can dictate in French, German, Spanish, Italian. It's not just something that is for someone who is teaching through the means of English. So again, I suppose these tools put together really enable students to be able to focus on tools that they can use for their writing and their reading. And I suppose this is something, again, it's something that the educator needs to facilitate it. So these two tools can help the students put their ideas down on paper, let them hear them back, and create that environment where absolutely everyone can thrive. What I suppose we're also seeing, and especially in higher ed, you might have visitors, or you may have students that are coming in from another country, and English may not be their native language. So what I want to point out is on PowerPoint, I'm not demoing it today, we can actually build in subtitles or captions. And one of the things I think that's really important about this is that The difference, I suppose, to it is caption is if we have a hearing impaired student, it will provide captions for them to read along, or it will pick up what I'm saying in English. And if I have a visiting delegation, or if I have specific students with one target language, and I've just drawn attention to that, it will pick it up and it will create subtitles, and you can overlay them or have them up on top or bottom of the PowerPoint, and it takes absolutely no time. It's live. It doesn't, I don't need to give it a script. It will pick up what I'm saying here. So where you'll find it, just to point this out, is on the slideshow tab, and you will see that you can click the box that says always use subtitles, and then beneath that there is subtitle settings, and you can choose your spoken language, in this case English, and you can choose the subtitle language to be a specific target language. That's there. There is, I suppose, an extra feature available for PowerPoint Online, which is also on the subtitle. It's also on the subtitle tab, and that is PowerPoint Live or Present Live, and that will let the student choose the target language. So it will generate a QR code. The student can scan it, just like if it was here, and they can then select the language. So that's great for facilitating when we have multiple languages, but that one is currently only possible on PowerPoint Live, or the online version, not the app that you might have present on your desktop. So just to point that out. Through their course of studies, an awful lot of your students are going to be using PowerPoint to create presentations. And I think we've all sat through students doing this. Their side is facing you, they're reading the things, and they're doing this because they might have not had the opportunity to stand up and practice, or they're trying to work off a phone or some other device. I suppose what I want to point out is something that's available to our students. And again, it's something I would demonstrate to them. So in PowerPoint, it's like a one-stop shop. There is an actual personal coach, not a personal coach, it's a computer coach, but there is a coach available for the students. So when they hit rehearse with coach, they can practice their presentation. It will tell them if they're reading the slide. It will tell them if they are using uninclusive language. It will tell them if they're really monotone. It will tell them, it'll give them feedback on their pace. This is a tool which will enable them to come in and give absolutely amazing presentations because they've practiced, because they've got their feedback, and it's something that they can do on, again, a whole range of devices. It provides a mixture of real-time feedback as well as a report at the end. They have the option of selecting either or. It's there, it's a click of one button, and again, on the ribbon, it's slideshow and there's a rehearse with coach. If your students are having to give presentations online, there is another feature which is available on PowerPoint Online, is they can rehearse with coach and it will track their body language and make sure that they're positioned at the correct place. They're not too close to the camera, they're not too far away. But again, I think these are really powerful to show the students. And I'll be honest, this is a tool that I use when I need to practice a new presentation for the first time, because it'll also give me information about my timings and make sure I'm not droning on too long as such. But really powerful to enable students to do their best. And again, this is a tool for everyone, but great for students who are suffering maybe a little bit of anxiety around public speaking, or need to practice just to ensure that they will do their best in their assessments. There is an absolutely amazing app, and it's not just because I work alongside Microsoft, but it's called Microsoft Translator. And I think this also works across 60 to 100 languages now. I actually think it got updated. But what's key for me in this is whatever the native language of the person, when they're accessing a conversation or text through the app, it will translate it into their native language. So you could have a student who's coming here, they might be starting their study in first year in college, they might be coming from Spain. they'll be able to take a picture of a worksheet and the Spanish will appear on top. It'll overlay it on top of it. Or they can speak into it. They can have a conversation with you as their educator. And you'll both be able to speak in your native languages, and you'll be able to read the conversation in your native language. And while there is an expectation probably that they will all have very good English, there will still, I'm sure, be key vocabulary that they're looking at getting support with. So this allows real-time communication. It allows taking images and translating it, as well as obviously they can speak into it and generate the translation so that they can practice their English. Or even if you're looking at welcoming them into your class and you'd like to say hello, how are you, in their native language, it's really easy. It will read it aloud and speak it to you. So I love this app. Also great for presentations. Again, I can generate a code. The people can just access it and see the presentation, the transcript in their native language. I noticed looking through your DigitalEd booklet, you're using OneNote, and the really cool thing about this as well is this app, when you start a conversation, you literally just click start conversation, it generates a little code. The student can go into OneNote, put that code into the closed captions, and the transcript will appear in their native language as well. So what we're really doing here is providing means for students to be able to get support in English and in their native language while they're still developing their vocabulary. Very last one, and I know this is a whistle-stop tour, and that's what I'm saying. If you want to reach out to me and I will take you through these in a little bit more detail. Never alone in this. But if you have seen or you've come across Microsoft Lens, it's another great one for our students to be using, because that immersive reader was so nice when I'm thinking they've typed something up on Word and it'll read it back to them, or they can translate it. But is that good when someone hands them a piece of paper and they need to access it? As I said, Microsoft Lens is another app which is available on Android or iOS. It literally looks like a camera when they open it, and they can simply take a picture of their book or worksheet or whatever.
Here's a quick demo of how to use Immersive Reader in Microsoft
Just going to mute her.
Lens on iPhone. Open the app, scan the document or book that you wish to use, confirm, and click Done if you're happy with the scan, and share to Immersive Reader.
Which is read it back to us.
Immediately you can read the text aloud.
The Microsoft Immersive
And do all the nice things there, such as change font, size, spacing, syllables, translate, and use the coloured filters. It also gives you the options to save that to Word to make it a document that you can use and edit. I am very conscious of my time, and I know I very much just showed you a whole lot of things that are available there, but there is so many supports there. And something as simple as if you've a student who's colourblind in your class, letting them know that you can go into the Ease of Access Centre, literally hit the Start button, hit Ease of Access, colour filter, and they can turn on colour filters for their specific type of colour blindness. So I know some courses this is more relevant than others, but it's great to know that these supports are available. And thanks very much for having us today. I have popped in, and if these slides are available to people afterwards, there's some links which will take and learn a little bit more about all these, but there's loads of resources there to hopefully get you started on your accessibility journey.
Thanks, Karen. So many great ideas shared, and I can see in the chat Marilla was saying, you know, the coach tool.
So cool.
Yeah, I haven't used that or promoted that, so thanks for sharing that tip. We forget all the features that are available on PowerPoint tools, and certainly OneNote is extremely popular here. Oh, sorry. Certainly OneNote is extremely popular here in Galway, Mayo, and across all our campuses. And sorry, can you hear me? And we've quite a number of colleagues using OneNote and other tools. So, but thanks a million. Is there any questions from the audience here for Karen, or is there any online there, Kevin? I hope you don't mind. I just shared your LinkedIn link, so if people want to connect with you, you might get
Anytime.
lots of new friends today.
No, anytime.
So thanks very much. So next up we have, we're going to go straight through.